our things.
Oh wait. Man, I swear that timer went
Ooh.
fast. That was kind of cool. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There's another
You saw us for a
countdown.
split second. Welcome, everybody, to 2025. Happy New Year's, everyone. And man, Happy New Year's to all y'all. And
Happy
what
New
we got going on
Year.
tonight, y'all? What we got? What we got?
Lots of updates. The biggest one to our community, we should have some reintroductions. It's 2025, and we have our usual guests that will now be hosting. So Nicole
Happy New
and
Year.
Gavin will be coming in every Wednesday, possibly alternate and lead these community conversations.
Yes.
Something that we've been doing for some time, and we care deeply. We advocate deeply. We believe in long-term systemic change, and we fight for the people. So we're going to do everything we can to continue these conversations going, to stay informed, because we do our research and we talk about it. Real community issues. So thank you so much, Gavin. Thank you so much, Nicole, for just making yourselves available and growing the East County Voices admin production team. So yay!
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
And thank you, Carlos, for always holding it down in production. And I know you had the fee that you had to pay, but we're going to work on getting an organization to help pay to keep and sustain this program and the applications we need to keep it going.
That's right.
So with
We're looking for a sponsor. Hey, how about that?
Yes.
yes, so we'll be accepting sponsors, we'll be accepting donations, and we'll have a way to streamline that funding. So
Right.
yeah, thank you. With that, Gavin, you can lead the convo, and what we usually do is it'll be like we're intros, which we did, maybe 2024 recap. You can
Mm-hmm.
tell us about methods of healing. Definitely talking about the last city council meetings of where we left off with the police returning to, or the former police chief being back in the building. Just all over, let's talk about it all. So thank you.
Yes, let's talk about everything under the sun. Um, Hello everyone. I'm back to be back. I'm now as a host with my auntie Nicole. Um, let's start with the first thing. Let's talk about these elections that have been happening. What is everyone's feeling about the election now? It's all over with. Everyone took the holiday to read, like, relax and recuperate. How are we feeling after the elections? Because I know people are being sworn in and stuff like that. But how is everyone feeling about the elections? Let's start with the county board of supervisors. How are we feeling after the county board of supervisors race?
Relieved. Thank the Lord. Chanel is D5 supervisor, and she'll be sworn in tomorrow night.
Woo!
Yay.
Marina.
Yes.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
So happy.
Yes.
So happy.
I echo that 100%. Otherwise, it would have been another member of this Back the Blue trying to stonewall accountability in the county. And so that's not what we needed for progress and change. So, yes, we got Chanel. She's for the people. I'm so thankful and grateful. And our county will be better off. We need more people like and leadership like hers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we have her as a leader
Mm.
Um, it's kind of funny because her and I met doing the work of the people and looking out for people and giving back to our communities, and that's something her and I will always forever have that bond. So I'm really proud of her in this new light and this new position she's going into. It's going to be a lot of work, but I believe she can do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
So how are we feeling about city councils?
Okay. Okay.
That was a long
Optimis-
exhale.
Optimistically, on the optimism side, I'm hoping that maybe Ron Burnell, the former city manager, is in the main seat to be held accountable. That's just me. I that's the optimism of the police brutality, civil rights, human rights violations that occurred under his city management leadership, with multiple complaints going unoverlooked and with no regard. And that how can you manage a city? You managed a police department that was rogue, violating people's rights, terrorizing the community, sticking their dogs on human life. So, in a way, I'm like, oh, maybe Ron Bernal is there. Like, we all are in the right places for the right reasons, and he has people to answer to, and so
and unlike my darling niece over here who feels optimistic, I'm completely the opposite. I just like he said, he didn't know about what was going on. How can you not know? That's your job. You were
all
over
he
it
did
quick,
was kick it at the barbecues. They had hella
right?
barbecues, kicking it
Right,
all the time. Like they never
right.
talked about it.
So you know exactly what was going on, and I honestly feel that Don Freitas found a way to be mayor again. I think that's who's really in charge. I think that's who's really running the show, and I think Burnell is the puppet. So it should be Mayor Freitas, really, I guess, which sucks because he was mayor before. And again, you know, uh, just the absolute worst thing for me is for the man who got up, who Lamar gave the proclamation to and apologized to the way Antioch treated the Chinese community, for him to get up and just completely spit in his face and say the nonsense that he said, and this regime and coming out of the dark ages, and thank Barbanica and Orgacha, which are the two who literally are part of the people who did that to you, and that's who you thank, and you basically make the other people who were for you look bad.
Mm.
Yeah, that was very hurtful. I think that was just wrong and
Mhm.
sad.
I feel for Dominique King and the fight that she led, and I feel for who else? Addison would have been a great leader, and
Absolutely.
we didn't get those two, and unfortunately, we have old school, original Antioch folks ready to get their town back. And if y'all want to go listen to their first city council meeting, it was pretty. They laid it out, all everything that they want to undo and fire here, fire there, um, undo this and undo that. Yeah, it's uh, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. But hey, freedom of speech. That dude Hanto, yeah, he was exercising his freedom of speech, as as hypocritical as it may be. Um, it's that's we all have a right to speak and say what we want, and unfortunately, that's the language that was used, the same language from when they actually did burn down Chinatown back in the day. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go into some history facts about Antioch per
Mhm.
se. Um, One, they had a big racist text message scandal. They burned down Chinatown. Also, you could not be black in the city of Antioch at one point. You had to be out of Antioch if you were black by the
before
time
you
the
start.
eclipse came on and the sun went down, known
Mhm,
as and Antioch is known to being a sundown town.
mhm,
So those are the historical facts
mhm.
that happened. So I just want to be clear, when we were talking about the dark ages, those were the dark ages.
Right.
How you can be a person of color of any race and address those issues without addressing those issues.
Mhm,
And you talking about we coming out the dark ages, no,
mhm.
it's going to be the complete opposite.
Mm.
So when is
Right.
it time we're going to hold people accountable and actually wake up and get get what's owed to us? On top of that, I just want to bring my attention to a little bit of light of a different situation outside of Antioch. I believe it was Holly Tillman's turn to be mayor,
Yes.
and they skipped her
Clayton. Mhm.
in the city of Clayton.
Mhm.
So not
She's the
only
only black
paying
person
attention
on
to Antioch, we gotta be paying attention in Clayton
everywhere.
right now too.
Mhm.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not shocked and surprised. I- I'm not I'm surprised she's on the council at all. In Clayton, again, conquered every ounce of racism.
What was
I
the reason behind it?
was
Don't tell
black.
me it was that, but
Because
because
of
there
the
was something that happened with Crystal Sawyer White when she was next to be a board president, but they didn't give it to her. So similarly, they didn't. What? Because the excuse for Miss Crystal Sawyer was that there was experience needed more.
I can't
Some
remember what she said because I did listen to her speech, but I just can't remember, unfortunately, what she said they tried to say was their reasoning, which
right.
we all know what it is because there was a lot of nonsense that she faced during the whole,
Of course.
yeah.
and we so how I think what's going on is because of her skin color.
Absolutely.
That's my
Oh yeah, Diane Bird.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and sorry, Happy New Year, Naughty. We forgot to say Happy New Year to Naughty.
Oh, happy New Year, Naughty.
here.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up.
And
Can we talk about the
She
Measure
lives in
X fund
Oakley.
for the youth
Yep.
development center going into Brentwood instead of Pittsburgh and Antioch?
How they
Well,
skipped Bay Point, skipped Pittsburgh,
Skip.
skipped Antioch, skipped Oakley.
again, not at all surprised. Well, she's gonna skip Oakley because she's taking the train to Oakley, so she can't put everything there because then it's gonna look like what it is, which we keep saying, but she keeps trying to say it's not. She lives in Oakley. She's not worried about anywhere but Oakley. So now all of a sudden Brentwood should have gotten a train if that was the case. They should have got to stop out there so they could also have a stop because they have nothing out there. That would have made more sense. Our stop stays where it is and Brentwood gets to stop. But because of all the trauma that Antioch has received and it's more centrally located, it should be in Antioch, period.
Mhm. Just like the BART station here in Pittsburgh. Like, come on, we were the first ones to pay for the BART station, and then you turn around and give us the BART station that we got. Like, it's not even really safe because when as soon as you get off the BART station, you get right into the street of an intersection off of a freeway. People are
Oh yeah,
flying.
the little stop on Railroad.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
little stop, you get right off into an intersection. That is
yeah,
not safe for seniors, children, or anyone for that matter.
right. I
When are
guess
we
they
going to get
figured we had the big one, so that little stop is I don't know.
right? We
Yeah.
need justice for that. We need an actual youth development center in Pittsburgh, Bay Point, and Antioch, not just these other cities where it's predominantly white. We need where the people are hurting. We are all hurting here. So when are we going to get what is owed to us? And that's what we need to be fighting for, and which should be our 2025 resolution of getting justice.
So for our community out there, Every Tuesday, there's board of supervisor meetings. They go from 9 to about noon sometimes, or 9 to 3. They take their lunch, they come back. And if you have anything you want to say, that's the time to do it at the county. You call in, you go in person, you can write to them. But we cannot be silent about what's happening with the funding, especially with the lack of resources that our youth didn't get. And that's, I just keep learning about more and more victims that were victims of the Antioch Unified School District, how they weaponized the police to criminalize parents, and serving restraining orders because their parents were angry because they felt their children were not getting the quality education they were getting, and rightfully so. They were overlooking children because they were not from Antioch, because they're black or brown. So yeah, I met a woman and she reached out and she spoke on another woman that left the state. Yes, we need a brainstorming web. Yes, we do. Maybe let's brainstorm this Sunday. Let's brainstorm this Sunday on my birthday.
No, it's your birthday.
It's okay. We could just have one quick brainstorm and put together what we know, the facts of what we know, of the circles. Maybe. I don't know.
We could brainstorm with birthday cake. There you go.
I mean, if we're gonna go to the waterfront cafe and have breakfast,
We're right.
What?
We'll be here at mi casa. You're welcome. That'll be another. We'll talk about that later. Sorry, off convo.
okay.
Celebrating Capricorns Sunday. Okay.
Yes.
Celebrating Capricorns. Okay. Politics. What were we talking about? The school district. Our babies are safe now.
Thank God.
With the leadership there, so maybe we can join this new school board.
Ooh, thank the Lord for that. Another victory. That's our 2 victories.
Yeah.
They're really important ones, but yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I want to just let everyone know, when you guys go into politics, the most important is the city councils and the school boards.
Yeah.
They are so important, probably even a little bit even more important than the national elections, because those elections they need to be like on point and on key, because a lot of things happen on the ground that people see under and we don't know about.
And that's what we try to tell people all the time. All these local elections are super, 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 super important, because any of these people that have aspirations of being promoted, basically moving up to anything else, they come from these positions first. So if they're crap in these positions, they're going to be crap in these other positions. It's just going to get worse. So you want to pick quality people to fill these positions and to move on to other positions. And that means all these, because city council members and everybody move on to be assembly members and senators and all those things. Like, all of that stuff is important. Super important.
Yeah.
So, what about the city manager for Antioch? How are we feeling about her?
Awesome.
Badass.
Yeah.
She's badass.
Did anyone go to the Oscar Grant event today? No. I can't bring myself. I can't. I can't.
I wanted to, but
She went live. Reverend Wanda went live today.
I watched part of it.
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's really still very overwhelming for me. I don't even like driving past there. So I can't.
To our community that doesn't know who Oscar Grant is, his life was taken 10 years ago?
15.
Right?
And he
Wasn't
was
that 2000 and...
Yeah, it was 15 years ago.
And his mother just recently got his cell phone back.
What?
That was just recently, like within the last year.
Are you serious?
It took that long. It took that long for her to get back. So in the documentary, she talks about it too. Yeah, it's crazy. That was 15 years ago, and
Yeah, it's yeah. I was overwhelmed when I met her the first time because it's it's like you're praying for somebody and you know all these things, and then you actually meet them in person. It's a very it's a lot. It's a lot.
and she has a lot of healing prayers, like weekly almost. And she has a book. It's called "It's Okay to Cry." So you can look up Miss Reverend Wanda Johnson or the Oscar Grant Foundation, and support what she does and supporting mothers across the nation that have also been victim to police brutality. And there's a documentary on Netflix. It's called I don't remember what it's called.
What does Mary want?
I think it's the Fruitville station. I want to say it's the Fruitville station.
See what link?
We have the link to show. There's another one.
Yeah, because I know they did a documentary on it. Because my people from my school worked on it.
Wanda Johnson and Miss Catherine Wade and Miss Leslie Mays in there. I could see them. You can't see their faces, but you could tell it's them by the way they're walking and where they're going. And
okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
For Our Children. That's the most recent one. That's the one. For Our Children. So you can learn more about her work. So yeah, that's a sad reality, and they just keep brutalizing our Black folks across the nation. So that's we can't normalize. We cannot accept. We cannot normalize. We cannot. It's like we're living in a freaking Twilight Zone.
I mean, it's the Twilight Zone Groundhog Day because we live in a bizarro world, and then we also keep seeing the same stuff happening over and over again. Like, I mean, it's just crazy to watch them beat this man to death that's handcuffed, sitting down. Like, what are y'all he's literally sitting there. You took him to the infirmary to beat him more? Because what, you beat him before and then you're dragging him to the infirmary to continue to beat him? I'm not understanding.
They forgot
they just murdered.
They forgot their cloaks were off, and
I guess because him putting his foot all in his chest and whatnot, like it's like I'm just this man is handcuffed with his hands behind his back. So what? I don't know. It just, and people say that we make everything about race. No, we don't make everything about race. Everything is about race. Race was created in America. And I'm sorry if everything is about race when it's only happening to people that look like us. So how are we making it about race? It's not happening to anybody else.
Yeah.
So what?
It's race. It's also class, because in New York, there's Black brothers on the blue line that also beat people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that are, going with the
culture. It's a supremacy, but unfortunately, yes, it's rooted in racism. It's a big part of it. Will always be, unfortunately.
That post-traumatic slave disorder, there was, I mean, even back then, they don't call it, certain things for certain reasons. There were people back then who still tried to suck up. Like, seriously, you really think it's going to be better for you just because you're trying to suck up? We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. So while you're trying to treat your own people just as bad as they are, is crazy to me, because they don't care about you and they'll kill you too. Like, they fed our babies to alligators, used our babies for alligator bait. Like, what is wrong with you?
The people don't know the history. That's what's wrong. People don't know. It wasn't taught. But there's so much sick shit that went down that was handed down.
Yeah. Yeah.
All those sick games and sick waste. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the.
I had done a film on this particular topic called police brutality,
Mm,
and um, it had a lot of language in it. But I did it because one, we was going through. I wrote when I wrote this film, it was during the height of the pandemic, and it was during the time that George Floyd was killed,
mm,
and and Breonna Taylor, and I just could remember everything that my mom was telling me and how I was feeling.
mm,
And I remember the first time I had this conversation with my mom, it was I was like 4 or 5 years old
mm,
because I was being discriminated against in school.
Mm.
And then my first physical altercation with a racist person was actually in a hotel at a convention at
mm,
the California Hawaii NAACP state convention.
Mm.
Um, and I got racially attacked there. So we need to just pull in and just start bringing in justice and start fighting for each other and sticking up for each other. Because even when someone you never know until it happens to you,
Mhm.
and and it shouldn't have to come to that to make you realize and wake up. But
right.
there's still people to this day that look like us that won't say nothing when it happens.
Right.
If you see something, say something. If you
Mm.
know something, say something. Like, don't sit there and quiet because you are just as bad as person doing it to that person.
Like the racist text messages.
Yep.
Everyone was in the thread. If they were part of the thread and they didn't say anything about these human rights and civil rights violations that were being celebrated and occurring,
Mhm.
no, they need to go.
Right.
Right.
So,
Mm,
Yeah. Because you're
oh,
complacent and you
yeah.
obviously don't care because I don't, yeah, there's no way there's something that I don't agree with. I'm not going to say anything about. I'm not going to just be like, oh, yeah, let's just, nah,
Mhm.
no. That's why I
but
got 4 friends because people don't want to hear the right stuff all the time. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be that person. Don't do that. Don't say that. This is that. Yada yada. Like people get tired of hearing the truth. Sorry,
yeah.
can't help
And
but tell you the truth.
Good question. I'm probably going to start putting my films out there on YouTube at least. Um I do want them out there so people can see them and the community can see them. They didn't get accepted to all the film festivals. I was trying to at least get them to accepted to 4, but I don't think they did. But there's 2 I really want my community to see. So when I come out with them, I'll let everybody know. Um, Speaking of elections, how are we feeling after the um East Contra Costa Adult Branch NAACP election? How are we
I'm
feeling?
confused. I got a text message. I had friends ask me like, "Hey, I didn't get I'm a member." Um, then that there's an investigation happening
Yeah,
into the voting, and I think that that's
I didn't get one.
necessary.
Stop
Necessary.
Dodge. That was all on purpose.
This is a new learning space environment of um leadership and processes that matter. And there is a current investigation into the voting process that occurred here in our East Contra Costa County chapter.
Yeah. And I kind of really want our community to really pay attention to those types of elections. And if you have no organization that is doing some type of election, you should pay attention to it. You should take note of it and see who you want to see in these seats, because they're just as important as these people that are walking around in these elected official offices and
Mm-hmm.
positions. They're just as important. And um, a few elections that are coming up. There's the state elections that are coming up.
Hmm.
I should be looking at that. And once we have more elections coming up, we need to
Yeah, they stopped a lot of people from doing a lot of things.
yeah, it's time that we as East County bring those resources that are up there to down here.
What's
Because
the
it's,
most appalling thing is that the NAACP has this big old legacy, yet the NAACP nationals like don't even know about the African American Holistic Wellness Hub that we're
Right,
fighting for.
right. That's
Um,
because of the leadership blocking the information.
Yeah, that this is a really big deal, and the fact that it's not up there, and the NAACP isn't all over the racist text messages and scandal that occurred out here is just like it's kind of like Mike Burkholder on Contra Costa News that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't cover the racist, corruption, the dog that scalped the woman's hair out of her head and
Mm-hmm.
skin, like people pick and choose what they want to share, what they don't want to share. Um, yeah.
yeah. I know the youth council, they are moving. We're watching, I'm buying everything, but I know we are actively working to try to get so much done, but there's so much that needs to be done. And we are trying to divide and conquer, but we're also trying to show up in numbers in certain areas.
Oh,
We can actually show up and do something and make change.
you need
Mm-hmm.
to do a recruiting campaign.
Oh,
You
we've
need
been doing the recruiting campaigns. It's just that
Mhm.
the blockage from certain
Right.
individuals block, but that's a whole different conversation. And um, I do believe that, we need to be more in the community, and the youth council is going to be more present in the community, not just Antioch but across East County, to let our presence be known. Because one thing that people are not going to do is, when we get into these positions and when we get in these certain jobs and when we get in certain places, you are not going to treat us like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to treat us like dogs and just be, here's a bone, go fetch. We're going to be treated like an individual. We're going to be treated fairly, and we're going to fight for what's owed, and we're going to be paid what we are worth, because that is what we stand on. Because we deserve every right to be here at Justice Next, and it is also time that we fight for all of our rights,
Mhm.
now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We have to. We can't just stand around like, oh, there's nothing going on in Mississippi. They didn't
Right.
just find 250 unmarked graves.
Right.
They didn't just like they're not just violating human rights in these prisons across the nation.
Right.
Sheesh. And
We
then
have to have Portia come on and talk about her prison from the inside out program.
get it scheduled, Miss Nicole. You got this. You all got this.
Yes, ma'am.
Leadership with the NAACP. I'll give an example of what poor leadership looks like. Poor leadership is when you have a community forum with the police chief and you have about a buck 15, like 15 people there total, but it's a community forum, but there's like nobody there. And then when I go and invite her, like, hey, we have an action coming up because of the racist text messages. And Martinez, will you march with us? I don't march. That's the president of the NAACP told me.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, so what do you do?
Nothing.
Just policy change, policy change.
Lies.
A leader would have said, we need to be there. I will let our youth know. A leader would have said, we need to be there. I'll let our chapter know that we should be present and stand against these racist text messages that occurred.
I mean, you would think she'd been running, right? It's the NAACP. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. But, hey.
No, the president of the NAACP chapter in Contra Costa County is an embarrassment and a disgrace to the historical aspects of what the NAACP is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
That's just, an opinion. Everyone leads their own way, but there was, what is that? SCIS?
Sis Mills. She's not a leader, and she's a liar.
And then the way that I've seen her speak and degrade elders. I've seen the way she degrades the youth.
Yep.
As a leader, you don't talk to your team, to your organization, you lead by example, and that's just poor leadership and just an embarrassment to the legacy. But hey, leadership matters. And
a little bit more detail of an example.
Say again,
Patty. Can you give us a little bit more detail of an example?
Okay. Let's see. A true leader would also not be sitting with the supremacists.
Hello?
Like, when I didn't know, I remember there was, and I say supremacist because you're a supremacist when the rules, policies, regulations don't apply to you. You're a supremacist if you can get away with murder, if you can get away with chopping down a protected tree here in our city that would cost anyone else over $100,000 and a fine to get away and not have to pay it because somehow you're on the committee and you wrote some kind of an okay or permit. That is supremacy. So when I saw the president sitting next to that woman and they were just like hee 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 ha ha ha, like they've known each other for a long time, I was like, oh. And it was
the fact in March.
Yeah, and it made sense, and I didn't know yet, and then someone brings her in and he was like, hey, just listen to this. And what he said was, remember that time you referred to Antioch as Little Oakland? And I looked at her and I was like, that's supremacist language when you refer. And Oakland is beautiful. It's cultural. It's historical. Black Panthers, history. It's
nothing like Oakland.
It's a gem. It's a gem. This is nothing exactly. And so, but the way that folks refer to it in a dehumanizing or like a better than way, it's really sad. As a leader, you should not degrade or belittle or minimize a city because of the new cultural diversity that exists, or because now, hey, there's more Black and brown people. Does that make it Little Oakland now? So terms like that in a leadership position, it's not. And then also, you can't be a leader and disrespect your elders and just shut them down in organizing, and even if it's in private meetings, a true leader would step down and say, you know what, someone else can do a better job than what I'm doing here. Yeah. You want me to keep going, Gavin? Is there
Keep going at this point?
Leaders shouldn't make fun of folks because of age, because of disabilities, because of dyslexia, because of anything. But leaders should not pick on people. And just what I've seen in the spaces, just a bully. You can't be a bully. Like people refer to me as a bully, like, oh, she's a bully, and maybe I bully the bullies. Okay, oh well, but really, we should
Telling the
always
truth isn't being a bully.
treat others with dignity and respect, and don't belittle or dehumanize others. Um, be inclusive. You want to, if you have a group of folks that have work and ideas and want to do this and want to celebrate that, let them do it. Don't try to discourage youth and others and not be part of this really big systemic historical change that we're kind of, if the NAACP would have stepped in and really was like, hello, sound the alarm, national, hey, this is happening, we could have had more accountability with these officers. Something probably could have happened, but nope, they're all chilling, coming back, getting their pensions and retirements, when in reality, out of all of those people in the text messages shouldn't have guns.
Nope.
They allowed the terrorism to happen.
Because there's nothing funny about it. I don't
No.
care who it was. It's not even just because it was brown people. It could have been anybody. It doesn't matter. It's not okay. It doesn't matter who you're hurting. You shouldn't be hurting and victimizing anyone.
Right.
You're supposed to be, you're not the law, but that's the thing. A lot of these people do these jobs because they're on a power trip. They want to be on a power trip. They want to think they're above the law, and and the sad part is they get away with it because they have qualified immunity, which needs to be taken away. And I keep saying they need to have qualified immunity taken away. They need to carry personal insurance so that when they do the things they're doing, they're responsible. The city needs to stop paying for their wrongdoings, and I guarantee you they'll stop doing stuff when they have to pay those millions out of their own pocket. They need to break up these unions that are just trash because they're the ones that's promoting all the nonsense.
Indeed.
Like you have to revamp everything.
So I just say this. I'm sorry that this has happened to the people about the NAACP, but that's why the youth council is strong as it is, because we're actively trying to make change. We will not sit down and be quiet. We will not sit down and be in submission. We will not sit down and um, just let people walk all over us and tell us when and where not to speak or where not to be still. And we're going to continue to strive and be stronger and not expect. And I can speak on that because I'm the president of that youth council, and I know people hate to see me speak up on city council or city council meetings. I don't know.
We love hearing you speak.
Right. Well, he's talking about,
Wow.
Yeah. He's talking about the leadership from,
People would love to just try to find ways to have me sanctioned or silenced, but this youth council will not be silenced, and we will not be at all mute. We will continue to speak out. We're going to continue to fight for what is right, and that is that, and nothing will ever change that.
You know what you need to say, Gavin, to them? You need to say, what are you people on? Why are you even part of the NAACP? What is your purpose for being a part of the organization that literally is for the advancement of colored people? That's what it's for. So if that's not what you're standing for and that's not what you want to do, why are you here? Because you're the main ones that's supposed to be out fighting before anybody else.
Right. And I just want to bring attention to other African Americans that are being attacked because of what they said and being silenced about what they said. Um, I feel like if you're speaking out on the issue, whether you're in a political position or you're a community member, and you need to speak up about something, so what if these people come in and attack you? So what if they're coming to get you? Because you know what, at the end of the day, it's them that's being afraid. It's them that feel like they need to hide behind closed doors and they feel ashamed and they're the ones being jealous. But you know what? At the end of the day, you are beautiful in your own right. You are strong. You are wearing your crown held high. And this is what is going to happen to the new people that are going to come on, Mary, like Mary said, we do need new people, but let's make no mistake. I'm sorry, I'm still clearing my sinuses. Um, you need people that, let's not just talk about new people, but let's talk about the people that are actively been here and actively working and actively doing the work.
Hmm.
Let's also keep them in as well as bringing new people in,
Right.
because we need to push both fronts and we don't need to be running against each other. We need to all be supporting each other,
Mm-hmm.
not running against each other, trying to fight against each other. We need to fight together. And how we're going to do that is if we each take a spot and fight together. If you see something, go. If you don't like something, the way this voting outcome went, then run yourself. If you don't like the way you seeing it now, then get yourself up and you go run.
Speaking of togetherness and unity, there were two very big events scheduled for December 21st, and that was the prayer party hosted by Mr. Fab and Unk the Hunkster, um, with the prayer party tour and the Thug Therapy. So that event combined with the uh, Seasons of Sharing,
Mm.
with Safe Return, Reimagine Antioch, Back on Track, and the events were merged, and many families got food, resources, toys. The Miles Hall Foundation came through with bikes for some kids. We acknowledged lives lost to violence. Taco Tone made a delicious, made hella tacos for the community. Miss Santina and Shamika came through with like the spaghetti and the food in the city of Antioch. One part of the department, maybe Parks and Recreation, one of them, they dressed up in their elves. They provided it was a really beautiful event, and our community came through, and we were prayed on. We prayed together. um so we need to just keep praying for the Bay and pray for the nation and pray for freaking change by just activating and being in these spaces that we need to be, because we have a long way to go. We have another forum coming up with the Department of Justice December 16th. If there's any victims out there that want to come forward, it's safe. Please reach out. We'll get you the information for you to register and be heard and give your testimony to the investigators that are here to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Please.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
we got work to do.
And then the most important part, what we've all done too, is taking a step back for our healing purposes and mental health purposes, because it's been a lot. This year's been a lot. And not just our activism, advocacy work, is just, it's been a lot as far as deaths, it's been a lot as far as sicknesses, it's just been a lot. So you
Domestic
have to,
violence.
right, have to take time to sit with yourself and,
Mm.
do healing with Tony, Patty's beautiful friend Tony is so amazing. The healing sessions were so absolutely necessary, and it really put me in a peaceful place, helped me purge some stuff I needed to purge. I definitely need to get with her and do it again. Like, I can't wait. But it's necessary. I really feel like we need to get with her once a month. If we could maybe plan where we could come to your house and do it again, like once a month, I don't know, but it's something we need to do on a regular basis.
Yes. Let's talk about it Sunday.
Okay.
She's coming over.
Yay.
We're going to be in community. And we're going to keep healing in every opportunity we get.
Okay.
I love your idea. Monthly. Hell
Mhm.
yes. Okay, okay.
Yes.
¿Qué más? African American Holistic Wellness Hub. We still need that. On and pop in. We need to keep fighting for it. You can join those conversations. Get online to Contra Costa County
I
boards.
know, Mary. Yeah.
January 16th.
She's talking about DOJ. That's the DOJ meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 5:00. And I'm bringing one victim. She reached out.
Who I've been asking you to get, hopefully.
Her incident, her son was murdered in 2008.
Oh, no, that's somebody different. Okay.
2009. Yeah, they sicked the canines on him, and a good friend of hers left the state because they terrorized her, took away her Section 8 benefits, took her adoptive kids from her, did all kinds of crazy things to terrorize this woman. So she's in the process of finding her because she knows them by name.
Okay. Good.
So we need to make sure that we get all of that to the DOJ.
Yeah. All right.
Got the flyer uploaded there, Gavin. Did you want me to show it real quick, or?
Yeah, let's show the flyer real quick so everyone can know what's coming up.
Tomorrow.
Right. So tomorrow we got this, y'all.
Great day.
The county is made of 5 supervisors, y'all. There's 5 supervisors that represent our county, okay?
I know, and we need to watch them all.
Yeah. I mean, we're still going to be in the same position, though. We had Federal and Goya. Now we're going to have Chanel and Goya. Because, you know, one is just like, and then the other two are just not at all just interested in what we're talking about.
Like the guaranteed income, it took them a long time to come around and do that 4-to-1 vote.
Yeah.
Those conversations are coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's always a fight.
That money's coming. So community, be on the lookout to be in those spaces with to guarantee that this income is given to the community and it doesn't get chopped and screwed or watered down. So that's what we need to be on top of. Also, it's a lot.
Yeah.
What else? What else? What else should we be on the lookout? What should we be on the lookout for renter stuff, Miss Nicole? What do you think for all the
we still need to get everything here in Pittsburgh, so we really need to get to those city council meetings. First and third Mondays, 7 p.m. And advocate for the people here because rent's still very, very high and very, very unaffordable for very many people, especially the elders. You know, so working on that. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. I don't know if I'll get picked or not, but I did throw my hat in the ring for city council for Pittsburgh. For the appointment. So we'll see.
Leadership be like, step up, get in where you fit in, and they'd be blessed to have you.
I agree.
I mean, I really want to do housing. I would like to be on the housing commission because I want to, you know, that's my thing, right? That's my passion. But for some strange reason, and I'm going to try to see who else I can talk to because it makes no sense to me that you can only be on the housing commission if you are on Section 8. And it shouldn't matter if you're on, yes, in Pittsburgh. It shouldn't matter if you're on Section 8. You should, if you live in low income housing, period, you should be able to be on the housing commission. I mean, I can understand you do want to have people that can understand the plight of the people they're working with, but it's not just people on Section 8. So, yeah, I think they need to change that if that's the actual case, but that's what I was told because, you know, someone wants me to do housing commission, but I was told I can't because I don't have Section 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Well, any place that you step in to lead and be in the, this is what we're talking about. That being in those decision-making spaces, big deal. It's a big deal. So we'll be praying for you and praying for just the universe, like to put you where you need to be. And yeah, we want systemic change. That's what we're after.
Right.
That's right. Any upcoming events besides tomorrow?
Not that I know of. I can't think of anything.
I've been disconnected. I've been.
Yeah, we've all been on our peace journey. But we're going to hit the ground running next week. We'll be back on everything next week.
Yes.
Next week.
Yeah.
I do want to get with there is a awesome, amazing man, Willie Moffitt Jr. here in Pittsburgh, who I'm going to try to connect us with. So I will be trying to get with him next week, and then I'll get back to you.
Yay! Nice. And Miss Monica, Councilwoman Monica Wilson wants to speak on elderly care for the elderly, the transition.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So put that on your radar.
Yeah, I'll call her again and see when she's available.
Yay!
And Tamisha is trying to get back, or wants to get it back on too, to talk about something too.
Okay.
Go team, go!
Right. And Mary's talking about today's event.
Aren't you doing some talking with the lowrider?
Yeah, that was today. There wasn't that many. There was a lot of people, but like last year there was more. But it was really good. And then at the end, like I was cooking for like 5 hours straight. So
I know you're tired. You need to rest. I want some tacos. Darn it, Carlos.
Yeah, it was cool. And I kept getting people walk by because I was using ground beef tacos, and they were saying white people tacos. And then I'm thinking, you know who made that popular was TikTok, because it wasn't no white people tacos when I was growing up. It was the cheapest meat to eat tacos. You feel me? It was the ground beef, and that's what we grew up with. My mom made plenty of. We call them quick tacos, where you put them on the tortilla and couldn't fry them. Yeah. So
that's facts.
Yeah.
But some ground turkey or some ground chicken, that sounds good.
Papitas with carnita. And ground beef.
No, Mary, you missed it. Dang it.
We missed you.
Next year. That's every
California
January
burrito has ground beef tacos and burritos, and they're open 24 hours. They're right there on Railroad in Pittsburgh, in case you want Mexican food all night long.
Look, their freshly squeezed juice is fire. That is, I will hit them up for the.
And they put papas fritas in the burritos.
Oh, snap.
No, I love my French fries.
Yum.
Just make sure all you they have shrimp there too. Just make sure they don't cook the shrimp in the same oil as the fries. For those of y'all with shrimp allergies.
Right.
But anyways, man, we happy 2025, everybody. We made it.
2025. We got through 2024. We could do this again. We got through 2024.
So everyone's gonna be at the gym this month, and a lot of people are gonna, like, it's like every year, like Yep, it's going to be a great year. It sure is.
Yes, Mary.
I'm going to get well this year. She is.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to the gym. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym." And then by the end of the month, they're like, everybody stops. It's like, let's try to, find a workout buddy, and then you're more motivated. The ones that stop, a lot of them, and I could be wrong, but they don't have a workout buddy or someone to motivate them. It's hard when you're just doing it yourself.
It's true. It's scary walking outside at night.
Right?
Or when
Yeah,
it's
it's not a good idea.
Why are you mentioning the chicken?
Oh my gosh, no. And he didn't have any business eating those.
They have chicken nuggets?
Don't you dare, Patty.
Yeah, I went live the other day. They were hella good.
Oh, Taco! I did see that. I didn't realize it was Taco Bell.
Yes.
Are they good?
Yeah, it was Taco Bell nuggets. Yeah, they're just weirdly because like I was like talking to them, the workers at Taco Bell, because when you look at my live, I put the nugget, and it's like red and it's like brown, like it's supposed to be brown, but then there's red in there, like. And I don't know what it was, but every nugget was like
ate it, Patty. He ate it.
And Mary was at the gym today. Hey.
Yay.
I went to the gym last week with my neighbor.
I drove by the gym yesterday. Look, there's my gym. Someday I'll meet everybody inside.
Let's do the Black Diamond Mines on Saturday.
Yeah, hike. We gotta hike.
Black Diamond Mines Saturdays. Every Saturday. Think about it. And Don Carlos.
Well, I'm at our house.
You don't have to do the crazy hike. There's flat land.
There's a lot of different. You can go up the stairs and go the easy route. Like it's.
You know where I always go, because we always used to go in the summertime. I would just walk up to the cave where the cold air is coming out, and I would just stay there for like 40 minutes.
No.
Like, I'm not going back down because it's hella hot.
No, but there's different levels of hiking and walking. So like for Don Carlos, that's cool. And then there's benches that are right there. You can bring your laptop. You can have an outdoor studio session.
There's no service up there. There's no service up there. Your phones won't even work unless you got Verizon, I think.
Well, unless you go unless you actually go hiking through the mountain, through the hill to the top of the mountain. Then, but that again,
top of the hill.
But that's like again.
That's like, y'all. It's good to be young.
I know.
It's I miss hiking. I love hiking so much. I used to go 3 times a week. 3 times a week.
But I can't say that because I got an older brother who runs marathons. So let me shut up. That's an excuse, y'all.
All right, y'all. It's about that time. Don Carlos, Gavin, you wanna? How do you want to lead it?
Take us out.
I just want to make a real quick thing. I just noticed that
that cave.
The inauguration day is on MLK Day.
That's disrespectful.
I just want people to recognize that the inauguration day is on MLK Day.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. I mean, we're not going to be listening or watching that crap anyway. So.
Oh my!
I know. It's on purpose. It's always on purpose.
Oh,
I know.
I went to hardly look at my calendar, and I went to see it, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
You're so slimy.
I know.
I want to be over there. I'm gonna make it up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That we need to do. That'll be a day that we go do something good. Like we'll have breakfast or. I don't know, go hike or have a healing session or something. Anything other, I mean, it's not like we're going to watch that mess anyway, but like not even be in a house where we're even near somebody's TV.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to make this quick. One thing I saw on my Instagram feed, or Facebook feed, or one of the two. Yeah. So they invited a historical Black college
to come
perform there, but yet they have to raise the money.
Yeah, they won't pay them. Why are they even agreeing to go? Is that I'm trying to understand why you would be agreeing to go. That's the first problem. Why would an HBCU go to that? And then why would you raise money to go to that? Like what?
Right.
That's
They
the thing I
invite you
was
to
talking
go.
about, that post-traumatic slave disorder. Like people just
They invite you to go, but you have to raise your own money to get there.
because they don't really want them there.
Let's get them on the show. Email.
I know.
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's just so much.
I know, right?
Well, all right. I just want to let y'all know those two quick things that were going on.
Yeah, I read that
Right.
earlier today.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how does this make sense.
Hey.
That's like me inviting
Make it
y'all to like, oh yeah, I'm having dinner at my house, but y'all have to pay a $25 fee.
And you invited me to eat. I know.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. I want. I'm not
Very
saying
white.
Gavin. I'm not saying Gavin. It's been like that for years.
See, y'all are proving that how to say you're brown without saying you're brown. Chirp.
Right.
Change that dang thing, man.
Chirp.
That's some extra double A's if that's what it is.
Who's gonna close us out? Who's gonna close us? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was Nicole's.
No, because everyone's always, it's so quiet at your house. It wouldn't be quiet if you were hearing chirping.
Right.
She
Mine
would
chirped so long,
break it.
I took them out. Who's gonna close us by telling everybody we're on here every Wednesday and like and subscribe to the channel?
You
Yes.
just did.
Don't forget. You
just
forgot,
did.
Carlos. Like on Facebook also.
Like on Yep.
Like
Follow
and
us on
follow
Facebook,
Facebook.
East
Yeah.
County Voices. We do post a lot of events out here, and also follow us on YouTube. And we're on here every Wednesday. We was off for most of December, except for we went on like once or twice, but once went on once. Yeah.
Did we go on once when we did the food thing? Or wait, no, we went on. Me and you did the food thing with the chef, and then we did a show, right? Didn't we do a show too?
Yeah, that was cool. We're gonna have an all chef. Watch, you guys will see. We're gonna have an all chef one coming up. I got some local chefs out here that are gonna be. You guys are gonna be like, dang.
Well, pick the day that you want to do it so that it's organized on the calendar and it doesn't conflict with Monica or the other Misha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who do I send the dates to?
In our folder, the East County Voices folder, at some point we'll create a calendar, some kind of a calendar, and we'll just plug it in.
Sounds good.
See.
Cool.
I love it. We look forward to it. Yes.
Yay.
From the chefs, that'll be a good episode.
Question, comment? Gavin? You got a question?
No.
Oh, you was just
saying bye.
food. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Anyone in 2024. Good luck in 2025.
Good luck, everybody, and stay safe.
Love and hugs, everyone.
Positive energy.
Yes, and drill. Mary said drill. Love, hugs, and drill.
Love you, Mary.
Love you all. Good night.
We're doing this now, right? Wait, that's not a heart. Okay, that's.
I always do my hearts wrong.
I know, right?
When I try to do the finger ones, they never come out right.
I had the abnormal heart. All right, we're out of here. Peace out, everybody. Love, God bless, and we'll see you soon.